Hi, today we are doing a very interesting reading on what it is that your soul wants you to know. The first spread is for pile 1. In the previous slide, you would have chosen one from one of the pictures, and here it is. So, this is a very interesting reading because this comes directly from your spirit guides, from your higher self, from your intuition. So, here it is. So pile 1, I feel that you have been feeling a little abandoned, a little alone. Maybe you are in the midst of a very difficult situation, and a situation that is not at all helping you move forward. It is not at all. So there is an environment sometimes that is very nurturing, very encouraging. That is not the case here. You're not feeling supported. If you're looking out to your friends, you're not getting the support that you want. If you are in a workspace, your colleagues are not being very friendly, and you feel that a lot is riding on your shoulders. The responsibility is yours alone. So that tends to make us feel a little alone, a little left out. And supporting this is the 4 of Pentacles. The 5 of Pentacles. So yes, there is a feeling of alone, being lonely. This difficult situation could be work related, it could be financial, it could, or I feel that it is a little bit related to your work, towards your a little bit related to finances, where you are struggling to make maybe to gather more funds, or you are struggling to hold on to your savings. There are unexpected expenses and you don't know how to figure that out, and that's why eventually you're taking on too much responsibility. And when we feel unsupported, and when we have more responsibility, and when we are stressed because of some things, everything comes together. And pile 1, this is going to be a period where you will have to go inwards, where you will have to reflect a little bit on your foundation. What is it that your relationships, your career, your family bonds, what is it that holds these things together? What is it that keeps, what drives you, and why are you? Let me give you an example. So if you take up a job, when we are younger, when we are just starting out, it is the first thing that we look at is a package. Very few people look at, okay, what is the kind of work? Am I going to get growth here? So it's mostly driven by money. It is mostly driven by, okay, I'm going to be independent. I'm going to go out there and make and do my work and be recognized for my efforts. This is when we are starting out, and as we get older, our priorities change. We pick up jobs for various reasons. So this is going to make you question that aspect, and not only related to your job. It is going to make you question that aspect, that foundation across your relationships, across your career, even your health to a large extent. What is it that you do for your physical well-being? What is it that you do for your emotional well-being? And similarly, what is it that is the foundation of your relationship with your friends? Is it honesty? Is it love? Is it based on give and take? Which is absolutely fine. Whatever reasons that are that you feel were the crux of your relationship earlier, those will be questioned. So while we went ahead with it, we did things for reasons that were maybe influenced by external factors, influenced by our conditioning. Now is going to be the time when you're going to be questioning everything. You're going to be now creating a new foundation for yourself. Obviously, because you're going to be creating one, that means that the old one has to go away. And when this happens, when this discomfort happens, when the foundations are being questioned, and you're seeing that happening, you're seeing relationships not holding on, you see the cracks in relationships, in friendships, with your colleagues, with your Career, this is when the discomfort sets in. This is mostly the time when we either avoid the situation, or we go inwards, or we lash out, or we just completely ignore it. Since this beautiful reading has come at this time, I urge you to address this. I urge you to take some time out and try and understand what it is that you had built your relationships, your career, your health, your overall being on. And it'll bring so much clarity. It is uncomfortable, but it is also completely worth the effort. And in all probability, it is going to happen. And it's best to simply face it head on, to try and understand what you can change. So the transformation is going to happen. It is going to bring discomfort, and you will have to question a few things. But please remember that there are new beginnings, there are changes, and these changes are in perspectives. These changes are, physical movements also. If you are in, for example, you are in an office environment that is not friendly, that is constantly, bringing you down, that is not giving you any sort of encouragement, then you will physically move away from it. But what needs to be done before that? The acceptance that this is not a good job environment, it is not doing anything for me, I don't like it. And that, doing that when it's going to be paying your bills, that itself is a big conflict. And I completely understand that. I come from experience with respect to offices, and also I completely empathize, but I also know that this new beginning is going to give you so much more stability, so much more clarity, and is going to bring a breath of fresh air, because you're going to be coming out of this situation where you're feeling alone, where you're feeling abandoned. So I urge you, pile 1, to make this effort to sit down with yourself and try and understand what it is that is not strong, what it is that you need to reflect upon, where is the crack. So, and then there comes a lot of celebration. So a lot of good things are happening, but I feel that this process needs to take place. And I also feel that the process has started perhaps in a small way, but again, right now we are in the middle of, okay, what do I do with this situation? Should I face it head on? Should I leave it for a better time when I'm feeling more empowered? Should I let it go so that, okay, maybe it'll disappear on its own? And so these are the things that you're right now wondering. So take the decision and address them, because the strong foundation helps you with so much more. And after this physical change, after this acceptance, after this movement, comes time for a lot of celebration. And I also feel that this is very important, because after this struggle, it is difficult to sit down and say, okay, I did it, I succeeded, and I moved past that which wasn't helping me, and I made stronger foundations in my life, with respect to my relationships, with respect to my family bonds. I made that effort, and most importantly, I made it with myself. I know what drives me. I know what takes my relationships forward. So that's a big achievement. This realization in the larger scheme of things, we don't realize how much these small efforts and these small bits of clarity really help us overall. And so the celebration is coming up, and it's going to really truly come after so much hard work. It is going to come after so much self-reflection, and you will see that your bonds are stronger. I also feel a lot of family related things right now at the moment, and a lot of things. So these are for sure close relationships. So it could be close friendships, it could be close family relationships that you're going to be rethinking about. And you're also going to feel very emotionally fulfilled, emotionally strong, very confident. about, so initially maybe you weren't even sure of, okay, is this person going to be there for me, and more importantly, am I going to be there for this person? Will I have the time and space to give, to offer strength, to offer support when somebody needs it? That also is going to be very, very important. So this is what is going to happen after that. You're going to feel emotionally secure, emotionally confident, and available for somebody else who needs you, and vice versa, because you made that effort to create a bond. This is one of my favorite cards in the tarot. It is the Wheel of Fortune. Of course, it sounds very exciting, and of course, it seems to be, yeah, this is going to be a favorite. But most importantly, why I feel this is such a big favorite is because you're not planning here. Things happen in seconds. Things happen so fast, and initially they might unsettle you a little bit, but they are always for the better. They are going to always take you where you did not expect. Perhaps you always wanted to reach this place, be in this sort of relationship, have this bond with your family, but you never went ahead and took this step. So the Wheel of Fortune comes and sort of nudges you towards that direction, and it is, so very less planning goes when the Wheel of Fortune comes. All your plans go out of the window, and maybe that's why I like it so much. It brings so much spontaneity. It reminds you that very little is in your control. So enjoy it in this moment, or if you're experiencing any sort of emotion, try and figure it out. And of course, you can take your time. It's not as though you're angry, so let's sit down and analyze anger. No, it is more a holistic growth system where you're at least questioning your actions, and if not your thoughts, then your actions. If you're questioning your relationships, if you're questioning this life that you're building for yourself. And the Wheel of Fortune comes and says that there are more important things, that we need to reflect elsewhere, we need to have a balance of material and spiritual, and that balance is what is going to make all the difference. So I love the Wheel of Fortune. Now let's take a look at what the Krishna consciousness cards are saying. So very importantly, I feel that once you have resolved and strengthened your foundations, when you have taken a look at your relationships, at your career, at your health, and done a overall scanning and understanding of where life is going, there's going to be such a big change, and you're going to feel so motivated and so confident from inside that finally you'll be able to shine. Finally you will be able to be yourself. You will be able to come up with what it is that drives you, with what it is that you need in a relationship. There's going to be a lot more open communication. You're going to let your inner self shine, and you're going to, it's such a beautiful card. I don't know if you guys are able to see it closely, but it's such a nice and a very warm card that reminds you that there is a lot more to you than you care to discover and then finally express. So do that. Now with this new knowledge, what is important is to know that if you have learned what your relationships or your career or your life can't be and should not be built on, and this is going to be a very internal dialogue. It is not going to be driven by external. So your idea of a relationship can definitely differ from someone else's. Please remember that. So this, when I say right or wrong, or when I say what makes sense or what doesn't, that is very, very applicable to you as a human being. So so this is what the Krishna consciousness card is reminding us, that we have to think and act with this knowledge. This knowledge was not just temporary. It is for your future. It is to build relationships in the future that are going to be based on very, very strong foundations, on complete honesty, on authenticity, on transparency, and of course now these things also will matter in the bigger picture with respect to you. So what you understand by being transparent, what you understand by being authentic, and these things don't happen overnight, of course, but we have to move towards a direction that's going to help us make this possibility. So think and act with knowledge that you have gathered from your own experience. And the Krishna consciousness card also, but you know, I feel that these cards are so practical because they remind us that no, wait, this whole illusion that we have, okay, this is how my day is going to be, it cannot go this way, I cannot be an hour late, I cannot be an hour early, it has to go by the clock. Or if you are the complete opposite and you don't have any schedule, either way, it reminds you and tells you that no, we've got to figure out a way that is more sustainable, a way that makes us more happy, a way that better prepares us for what is coming. And so surrender to whatever it is that you're learning, to the situation, whether it's a conflict or whether it is a situation that is bringing you joy. Just surrender to it in that moment. And so see, now control also can be misunderstood in so many ways. So if there is a conflict, do you not take actions to resolve it? Does that mean you're controlling the situation? Or if there is a conflict and you are too controlling, you are saying, okay, no, you do this. So what is it? Where is the balance? And that is what we have to remember, that what are we exactly trying to control? What is it that we want to change about this entire thing? Because then the realization will set in that nothing can change. People won't change, the situation won't change, because it is as is. The only thing that changes is your perspective. You start seeing it in a different light. You start seeing that, okay, this is not where I want to spend my energy. This is not what I want to do. And I know this sounds very simple when there is no conflict, when there is no discomfort. But this is where it will apply the most, when there is conflict and where there is discomfort. That is the time you take a step back and observe what it is that you can truly change in that situation. Is it perspective? And this is all you. It has nothing to do with the other person. It has nothing to do with the situation that is due to other external circumstances. This is completely you. So again, a difficult process. It takes a lot of work, but so rewarding, because finally we realize that, you know, there is so little that is truly something that we can decide, something that we can work according to plans. So let this surrender come to you and just enjoy it. Go with the flow. You also have to connect. So what I was speaking about a few minutes ago, the material and the spiritual, that's what sometimes we forget. In our material pursuits, we forget that we are also a spiritual being. We are also an emotional being. We are also a being that comes with mental needs and inclinations. So we are only catering to our material side or to our physical pursuits. But what happens to other things? And that then is when we feel a gap. Then we feel like, okay, wait, but I don't have time for myself. But I don't have relationships that are authentic and genuine. But I don't know what fun means, and I don't know life beyond work. So those questions crop up very sneakily at that time. So try and maintain this balance. Try and remember that you are connected to nature. You are part of this whole cycle. You are part of this whole universe, and don't exist in isolation, and don't exist just cut off from everything. So try and build a lifestyle, I'd say, that is more holistic, that brings in all elements of who you are, of what you can get from nature. So try and remember that is the message that your higher self is giving. Very beautifully, Archangel Michael and Archangel Raphael come and remind you that you have to try and deal with your fears. If you read more, if you research a little bit, you will find out that children, or we as humans, are born with only two fears. One is the fear of falling, and one is the fear of loud noises. Everything else is acquired. So try and sit down with yourself and understand this energy. Try and understand what is it that stops me from giving my 100%, or what is it that stops me from demanding 100% from the other person, and how do I establish an equal relationship? How do I establish a relationship that is based on mutual respect and love? And your soul and your spirit guides are saying that everybody and everything around you needs to go through like a cleanse. So sometimes our actions and our thoughts and everything is based on, okay, if I don't do this, this will happen. If I don't finish this PPT on time, this is going to happen. If I don't meet my friend, if I don't return her calls, this might happen. Or if I don't maintain this this pattern of going out on every weekend, even though I just want to sit in bed, I will not have friends. So these are just fear-based patterns. These are just fear-based actions that take place. So give yourself a little bit of break. I suggest to light a white candle every day, and anything that has bothered you that day or has been fear-driven, just visualize that feeling or that situation dissolve in that light of the candle. Now I know visualization works for some, it doesn't work for some. If it's something that doesn't work for you, you can DM me and we can talk. I could give you more suggestions, or just do a little bit of research, and you will find so many things to help you through this process. And the angel cards also remind us that we need love, we need to be together with our friends and our family, and to have a support system that is encouraging, that is going to help us grow, and in turn we are going to grow together. So that is very important. It is not going to be a one-sided communication where your friends and your family are only working towards your growth. You also have to return the same sort of understanding, the same sort of acceptance, and you also have to ensure that everything, that all your relationships that are connected with love, those are respected, and you understand the value of those, because they are going to be playing a very, very big part in this transformation that you're going to go through. And sometimes we find it very easy that okay, we have. So I feel that in this deck, a lot is going to happen with respect to the choices that maybe you made in the past, whether it was career, whether it was friendship, whether it was how to deal with family members, whether it was based on inner reflection. There's going to be a lot of change there. So you're going to become much more authentic, much more transparent, because this is what you're craving for. You want this right now. At the moment, this is what you're inclining towards. You want a job, or you want to work in a space that is going to make a difference, that is going to make you feel valued, where you feel that okay, this is what I did and this is the impact. Similarly, you want friendships that you can count on, and you want to be a friend that your friends can count on, and there has to be this the expectation setting, or has to be very, very on point. It has to be after communication, there has to be openness, and you want this now. You want this integrity, you want this truth in everything in your life at the moment. Perhaps some things are superficial and you don't want that anymore, and that's going to be such a beautiful transformation, because you will see that everything slowly around you changes. And I'd just like to end with just a little bit of a message that is so overwhelming for me to communicate to you, that you are so protected, that your intuition, your subconscious mind, and everything that we don't understand, intangible words, everything is coming together for you, for this transformation to happen, so that you are safe, you are protected, and you understand the learnings behind it, you understand the reasons behind it. So there is just so much protection for you at the moment. So if you are still feeling alone or a little bit lonely, then please take this as a message that it's going to get better, and you're definitely not alone in this. There is going to be so much growth that's going to happen in this period. Please also remember that this growth is going to happen across physical aspects, mental aspects, emotional and spiritual. It's going to be quite comprehensive. So it might be a little uncomfortable, but like I said before, it is something that you need right now. It is something that's going to happen very naturally. And the last card for angel from the angel deck is parents. So this could be that you will want to feel grounded, you will be taken back to your childhood. There could be some inner child work that could come up, and if it is intentional, that will be great, because childhood is when we understand what foundation means. Childhood is when we understand what relationships should be based on. We see this from our primary caregivers, mostly our parents, or a parent figure. We learn this from our siblings, our friends, our elders. So your first contact in the world. So those are places where we learn this from. And since your foundation is going to be strengthened, you will also go back to this point. So you might feel that a lot of inner child issues are coming up, and you want to understand more, and so you could do some journal work. You could also spend a lot more time with your family, with your parents, with your sibling, to first strengthen those relationships. If you feel that over the years it has become a little based on formality or based on duty, that okay, I have to call up my parents and I have to know how they are feeling, because well that's the thing to do. But you will realize that when you go back and reassess everything, that there is so much you can share with your parents and your siblings or your primary caregivers or whoever the parent figure in your life is, that they are individuals who come with so much experience, and this is a conversation that I can have, and this is where I'm going to get so much knowledge, so much guidance, and most importantly so much support. So reach out to your parents, reach out to the parent figure in your life presently, and you will see that there will be so much open communication and so much healing that will come from here. That's all for pile 1. If you'd like to know more, you can drop me a DM and we can get in touch for a personal session. Thank you. Hi, this reading is for pile 2, and the reading that we're doing today is what your soul wants you to know. So pile 2, you have been feeling a little disappointed or a little sad. So you're looking at what you don't have rather than looking at what you do have. So maybe you lost something recently, or you went through, or there was a fight or a relationship that did not work out, but you're not looking at the great job that you have. That's a example that I can give. Or you're looking at things not in the best light. So maybe the feeling of this is not enough, what else is out there, but why can't I have this and that as well? So those are things that are going to be playing on your mind for the time being. But hold on, I would like to tell you that this is a pattern that you have perhaps been dealing with in the last few months, but it is going to change. There is going to be a sudden idea and sort of like a eureka moment where you're going to be like, okay, but I have enough, and I'm grateful for what it is that I have. So I don't have to be in this state where I'm not happy, where I'm looking at what it is that I can get rather than looking at what I already have. And because the Page of Swords brings news and brings ideas that are new, that suddenly give you a sense of breakthrough, and then you are out of this situation. So your spirit would like to know that hold on, wait for this feeling to pass, because something good is coming. You're also going to be looking at your skills over the years, your savings over the years. Perhaps you want to take a break, or perhaps you're waiting for a new job, you're waiting for a new opportunity, and this is a great way to also admire what you have done. It is something that reminds you of, see what all I have collected over the years. It can lead to a little bit of questions or ideas where you are wondering if this is enough, or where you're feeling very confident with what it is that you have accumulated in terms of wealth. So these are the patterns that you could deal with depending on what it is you do, depending on what this means for you in your present life. Since this is a general reading, most of these I don't want to get too specific, because it could then perhaps not apply to you. So that's why I'm giving you a very general message related to this. So remember that you have done well for yourself, but there is more to accumulate in respect to your skills, in respect to your savings. And then this is exactly what the Ace of Pentacles is telling us, that here where you're contemplating whether this is enough, whether I should take a break, change my job, there is a new change coming with respect to your job. This could also, I'm getting the sense that this is for those people who want to start a new job, a new business, or want to start something on the side along with their job, want to pick up projects, and are still wondering whether that is the right direction to take. So the opportunity is going to come, the breakthrough is going to come after this contemplation. The decision is going to be made, and it's going to be fantastic for you. I do feel that you're going to, so since you're concentrating a little bit on material pursuits, there could be questions related to that, like what it is that you want to do, what it is that you want to move ahead in. So try and understand where that makes sense for you. If there was a loss of any kind with respect to your job, or a project not working out, or a business that did not succeed or do as well as you thought, that disappointment still stays. That ending, that sense of an ending that you experience then still influences your decisions of today. So try and see, is that the blockage? Is that where you get stuck? And you will get so much more clarity with respect to moving ahead career-wise. When we experience any sort of loss or things not working out, there are many ways in which we react. So you have to understand and analyze that loss in the past, how much of that still influences your present, how much of that still influences your future course of action. A business not working out, does that still impact you not starting a new business? So while I understand that learnings are always so helpful, but is the fear also playing a role? Are we able to just take the learnings from that situation, or do we bring a little bit of the fear as well? So just those things I feel are going to be very are going to be themes that you're going to work with. This could also be related to people or relationships. So relationships that did not work out in the past, or there was a loss of some kind, and now you're wondering, will I not find companionship the way I want? Will I not find relationship the way that I seek? So those are things that you are still struggling with. The loss still tugs at your heart. So it's just important to accept it fully, and to maybe at that moment you weren't feeling very together to address it, but at the moment you are. At the moment you are feeling stronger. So try and resolve the root cause, or the after effects of that loss at the moment. Very beautifully, the Wheel of Fortune also comes for pile 2. This is the same card that came for pile 1, and I feel there is so much sync right now in this reading. So let the Wheel of Fortune guide your future course of action. If it's a business that you want to look at, let it happen. Let the wheels move. Don't try and control too much of it. Don't try and keep thinking about the first step. Take the first step and let's see what the second step is. Let's figure out what comes to you with respect to ideas, with respect to people you can collaborate with. So the Wheel of Fortune also can take you places. Physically, you could be traveling for your work. You could be traveling for your job. So it's going to be like a very, very movement related card. So please remember that. Now let's take a look at what the angels are saying. So the angel messages come with a lot of love. They are in alignment with the tarot. So please give yourself a lot of love. Try and visualize your heart chakra or this part in pink light. If visualization is something that works for you, you can try a meditation that opens up or heals your heart chakra, or you could try journaling. And if you'd like some journal prompts, you could message me and I could direct you to the right people, or you could just do a little bit of chanting, heart chakra related chants. These are things that can actively work towards opening your chakra, because I feel that the loss that I was speaking about a few minutes ago is still something that plays very heavily and has almost, it's overwhelmed here, and it gives you a little bit of blockage. There is fear. Should I do this? Should I take this step forward? Why is it always me that has to be in this situation? And sometimes these questions, and which is very, very natural. It is very natural to ask, okay, why me? Why am I going through this? Why is it so difficult for me at all points? So these are things that you are struggling with. Please also know that anything that is intuition based for you, that comes directly from, that is directly indicative of your inner voice, is going to work very, very well for you. And I would say, to address the loss that you had experienced, to completely understand it and resolve it and take only the learnings from it. I feel that situation still impacts a lot of your emotional being at that moment. So there is a clear indication to cut your cords, to clear, cancel and delete everything that remains from that situation, because what happens is that it influences you. It does not let you make decisions. When we experience loss, when we experience disappointment of that extent, then sometimes we are unable to understand why this cycle ended. What did it have to teach me? Are you still holding on to that cycle? Are you still hoping that there will be a new beginning? So these are things that don't let us move forward, and that is coming very strongly in the angel messages, that it is time to move forward. It is time to actively work on your emotional blockages. It is time to heal yourself in that sense. And you could always ask and seek support from your friends. You could pick up a art journaling course. You could try talking therapy if that is something that is going to ease the process, is going to give you more clarity. It's going to give you a healing plan, a treatment plan with respect to, okay, this is what I need to do. These are things that I actively need to do, and subconsciously you will feel a shift. So, and it also, I feel this could be a relationship loss, or it could be something that was very, very dear to you. Sometimes, it doesn't need to be another person. It could be a business that you started with a lot of love. We almost start treating our business or our work as another individual, as another entity. So we give it that energy. It could also be that, and that loss has really stayed with you. So try and actively work towards resolving this. I also see that you will be attending a few workshops or a few you'll be enrolling in courses that are going to help you holistically heal, or are going to help you work actively towards your growth, emotional, mental and spiritual. So this is going to be something that's going to be dominating the rest of the month or the rest of the year, for example, and it's going to be a very, very fulfilling and enlightening time for you. So do that. Go ahead and pick up a course that you've been wanting to do, attend a workshop that you've been wanting to, book sessions if you've been thinking about it. It could be a tarot session, it could be a chakra healing session, a journaling session, an art journaling course. So these are the things that are coming up for you. It is important that you seek support. You understand that your support system is here to help you, is here to be with you. And I would also say to have a little bit, give yourself a little bit of a break. Maybe go out on a holiday, or at least take the weekend completely off and do something that you haven't in a long time. You could step out with your friends, and I'm saying very, very practical things, very, very doable things, because at this moment this is what you need. You need a break from this constant thinking, from this cycle that is not letting you move forward. So step out, enjoy a good dinner if that's what you like. Go out for a picnic. Things that we haven't done for some time because of the pandemic. So go ahead and do those things, if possible. And I know everybody feels differently about giving back to society, giving back to nature, but whatever resonates with you. If you could perhaps feed a cow, or you could start feeding the dogs in your society, or you could start feeding birds, or you could plant a few plant a few plants in your garden, or you could just do anything that sort of gives back to nature, gives back to the community that you're in. That's going to make you feel very, very fulfilled, and very you will see an impact that you have directly created, and which sometimes reinforces our presence. So try and work on that. And another thing that comes up is to continue doing what it is you're doing, and don't lose faith. You are putting in your hard work, and in the bigger scheme of things, you have done what it is that you needed to, and that is all that we can do. We can continue doing what our inner voice calls us to do. We can continue doing things that bring us joy, and just hope for the best. So really, truly, this I feel is a beautiful card. Karma has been misinterpreted, it has been shrouded in so much controversy, but I believe that anything that resonates with your inner self, with your higher self, is karma for you. So continue doing what it is that you're doing, and keep the faith. And another thing that might come up for you is issues or conflicts related to the ego, and how you will resolve them. So and now ego also has been conceptualized to such a large extent that sometimes when I'm talking about the ego, I'm not sure how to put it into words. So simply put, I will say anything that has restricted you from being your most authentic self, anything that comes naturally to you, and then you add the ifs and the buts and everything else to it, then that is a little bit of your ego coming in the way and saying, oh no, but we can't do that. And so try and understand where this comes from. Try and understand what your ego influences you to do. So it's not separate from who you are. Sometimes our conditioning comes in and says, okay, but you can't do that. You are a tarot reader. You must give very, very definitive answers to the person who is come to you for a session. But if a definitive answer is not coming out, it is not something that I can do. And I have to keep aside my ego self and then connect for your highest good. For this session to be as authentic and as transparent as I can make it. So this is what we need to remember, that sometimes we have to just do things as they are. If something calls out to you from inside your heart, just take that leap of faith and it's going to be perfect. Another message that comes up for pile 2 is to forgive and be very open. Sometimes when we are hurt, it is difficult to forgive someone. It is difficult to forgive the situation and sometimes ourselves. There is so much hurt and there is so much anger and frustration that we don't know what and how, what should we forgive at that moment. So if there is a situation or a person, or you feel that you are very strict with yourself, then it is time to please forgive and to move on from that, to find it in your heart to let that go, because the past is anyway gone. Why are we bringing it to our present? Why are we taking it to our future as well? So try and bring this feeling of forgiveness, and you will know where this applies for you. So please remember that. And the last message is to be very open. So when we change with respect to our emotions, when we change with respect to our conditioning, when we are open to unlearning, a lot of things happen. We get messages from friends or family which will help us grow. We suddenly come upon something that suddenly strikes a chord, and then you're like, okay, of course I want to do this. So these things will also start happening. So be very, very open with respect to your relationships, with respect to the changes that are taking place, and try and bring, if it's a romantic relationship, try and bring your partner in the decision making process. If it's a conflict related to your family, try and bring them all on an equal platform. Right now, there could be a situation where you're on the platform and they are somewhere else, or there is no equality, there is no communication. So this is where openness needs to come. It has to be a truly authentic, transparent communication where you're going to feel that, okay, this is good, this is what I've been wanting all along. So yeah, that's all for pile 2. If there is any question, you could DM me, or you could drop it in the comment box. Thank you.